Hello, how are you?
Now
that I'm Purell, I feel better. Purell, Tom is sick, and I touched your phone. I'm Purell. I'm good. I'm good.
No.
I have issues, Tom. I have issues.
I would do the same.
I was brought up with a grandmother who used to tell us, you're going to eat a peck of dirt before you die.
My mom used to say that. She used to say you have to eat a peck of dirt before you die. I'm like, oh, we would complain about something.
My grandmother had an immaculate house.
So eat the peck of dirt outside, don't bring it in.
Yes, right, yeah. I do remember one time my mom was giving all three of us a call at the same time. And my mother started to pour tide. And my grandmother said, Betty, I don't think you want to do that.
Taking it too far. Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody?
More relaxed? You feel more relaxed?
I feel like I hit the wall.
I felt that way. I was supposed to go to the governor at the clerk staff over last night at 5. 4 o'clock I'd done with my stomach work. I said, I cannot hang around food. I have to do
Mental fatigue.
Yeah. And I missed it. But I was so happy to get home.
That was me.
Good morning.
Good morning. Chairman, how we doing? Good morning.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Oh. Who knew?
There were like 500 of them yesterday.
How nice is that?
Yeah, like five
Nice.
each. Literally
There must have
five.
been 500.
Maybe,
Exactly, that deserves attention. Yes,
There were 500, and then Vicki and I went, and then there were like 490.
Yeah. I'm not taking a picture of you, by the way. I'm trying to.
She is totally.
On my blog, I've let people know how serious Valentine's Day is here. And instead of seeing anything.
Oh, yes, I didn't wear my elementary school sweater. That was really.
Yeah.
ABCs.
I had just about everything possible.
So I told my blog people,
How are you this morning?
I told them I would post pictures today on my blog. And this was the name. I'm serious.
Five.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm interested to see where Ryan, we have some defined terms already. Previously, did you talk to Ryan? She very thoughtful, Lori. Are not, or it's been chosen, they might be whole bunch of things. Right? Lori, thank you. Just one good selected So then there's a concept of locally chosen. Or locally selected. He needs a bill.
Just get a text from me.
Yeah, I was standing at the elevator waiting for the door to open.
I'm always, you're the only person that ever gets somewhere, I don't know why.
Yep, I
They'll finally figure all this out when session is over.
And I put it down.
Yeah.
It says 7:30 in the morning.
Well, you know, they did all these things and the voting system gets all, it's slowed down, screwed up, and this is crazy.
We're in our usual place.
Did you get a text?
I did.
You did?
30 seconds ago.
About 30 seconds.
I'm so happy that we got it.
It's just started working
Week and a half to go and it's up and running.
Let's see where the time
We thought it was a delete thing and it never worked.
Chairman, Russia, President. All right. We're all set. We just need patience. We can definitely take care of their bills. I told Bryce in a text last night that I would take care of his bill for him, so.
That could be a pretty quick process.
I keep mine, but mine's sleeping.
Oh, and there he is. Look at it. All right, good morning. The House Subcommittee on Education and Innovation will come to order. I wish everybody a very happy Valentine's Day. I forgot to wear my red tie because I don't pay attention sometimes in the morning. So, Senator Reeves, thank you for your promptness. Nice to see you this morning. We have Senate Bill 1159, Senator Reeves. If the members could give their attention to the fine senator, we'll get started.
Mr. Chairman, this game is as a result of my superintendent, who's pretty plugged into making sure that not only do we have adequate teachers for CTE and some of the other stuff, but was looking at the current law on some of the battery of tests that they have to take for diplomas. One of the things that was lacking that a lot of his students out in Culpeper have, and in Orange, in my area, a lot are going in the military and they're taking the ASVAB test, and it's been viewed as a very exceptional test for assessments. And this would just merely add the ASVAB, the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test, to that list. You look on line 82 to some of the other skills for industry certification. So it's a pretty simple bill. There's no cost for the ASVAB, but there is for the Workforce Readiness Skills Assessment, which is already there, and the ASVAB that's the bill.
That is the bill. Are there any questions of the subcommittee?
Good morning.
Let me hear. Anyone in the audience want to speak in favor of the bill?
Tom Smith, Superintendent, swear in favor of the bill.
All right. Anybody else? Anyone want to speak in opposition to the bill? Yes, thank you, Dave.
Move the report.
All those in favor of reporting this fine bill, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Senator Reeves, thanks for your early attendance.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, guys.
Hope the rest of your day goes that easy.
If I could just ask, and I'm just, because I don't think there was anything that would prohibit anybody from using this previously, right? Because it's an illustrative list, and this just highlights the fact that.
It just wasn't in there, so it couldn't be utilized, but now that we're gonna hopefully get it through the government's on the bill, then we can put it in there, so. It wasn't listed as one of those competency assessments, so we're adding it to that.
So this wasn't a included, but, or of just these ones that are in there.
Correct.
That's right. All right, very good.
Thank you, Senator. All right, I believe we have another patron with us. Senator Donovan, thank you very much. This is Senate Bill 1245. If the subcommittee members could get their attention to Senate Bill 1245, we will jump on it.
Thank you so much. This works to address really the financial literacy course that all of our high school students take in public schools. And this was the only non-cost associated recommendation of the Board of Education, and that was to improve students' understanding of what the cost and return on investment were for different educational opportunities post-high school. And essentially, they're going to be working, Department of Education is going to be working on rewriting the financial literacy course within the next couple of years. And this just directs them in the SOL language to include that kind of subject matter altogether so that students have the opportunity to really start grasping what their options are and what the costs would be.
Okay. Are there any questions of the senator on the legislation? I have one.
Yes, sir.
So I had the pleasure, I think most people in the audience have heard me tell this story. My son took this course virtually over the summer so that he could find time in his junior year schedule to take 2 sciences. So I actually had the opportunity to watch him go through the curriculum, and it was a fantastic curriculum. I think everyone in the Commonwealth should probably take a course like this, but nobody will support my bill. So we'll come back to that later. Where does this information come from?
Well, they would develop it very much as they develop the rest of the curriculum. And so they have data out there that can look at what does it look like if you spend the first 2 years at community college and the last 2 years at a 4-year school. What does it look like if you get a certificate in licensure? What are you likely to earn? They actually already have some of this material in different templates on different websites across the Commonwealth. It's just not located in this course.
And Senator, we passed a bill earlier this year that would move VLDS into SHEV and allow them to continue to collect longitudinal data about graduation rates, and then salaries 5 years out. I assume that's part of the information that could be gathered and pushed back into the system.
I think so, and a lot of our workforce information, you know, the 2-year colleges are now tracking certification and licensure, job placement, and earnings on that. So all of that information, hopefully we'll be able to really leverage the data that we've begun collecting so we can look at where the workforce, you know, issues and needs.
Any other questions or comments from the subcommittee? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in favor of the bill? Anyone in the audience speak in opposition to the bill? Is there anyone in the audience who cares about the bill?
That's the right idea.
Chair.
Second.
Well, I have a question over here. There's a motion and a second. It is discussion.
Yeah, and I love this bill. I think it's great, powerful information for students and parents to have gone through. I do see that it's geared at the post-secondary degree. Was there any thought or discussion about whether that would be post-secondary degree or certification? Just because
That's a good point.
because I know we're talking 4-year, but you could also talk about, you know, what's the economic value with respect to career and technical education and workforce readiness. I didn't know if you'd be open to something like that.
Or even just post-secondary studies. Anything along those lines to open it up, because I do think that it would be valuable to include all, that was my intent, that all of that would be included.
Yeah, would you look at that as a friendly
Yes, sir.
amendment?
I would.
Would you withdraw your second?
Withdraw.
All right, the bill's back before us, and it is an amendable state.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Well, I would amend on line 27 so that it reads post-secondary study, is that?
That's fine with me, or we can do degree and certification licensure, whichever you prefer.
I think it's Delegate Yancey.
I was gonna suggest that the senator brings up a good point. I think a lot of what the last couple of years, this subcommittee especially, and the committee in particular, have really honed in on a lot of these aspects of career and workforce opportunities, people being transferred out of the military into the educational community, and likewise young people going into the military, different opportunities. So I think excellent amendment, and I think specificity to what you're driving at in that collaborative effect, I think is
Ryan, thank you, Del. Ryan, what's in the code, what are the pitfalls if we say studies versus post-secondary degree or certification or licensure, and kind of list it out? Any problems with studies being kind of wide open?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman, I think it's just a little bit broader than
Which would you prefer?
I'll do studies because we just don't know what we might want to interchange, and so if we describe specificity, there'll be more limits in the future potentially. So I
And then
think
we'll come
also-
back and say, oh, we forgot this one, let's
Yeah,
add it, let's add
exactly.
it.
Future proof.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'm so moved that.
All right,
Second.
there's a motion and a second to amend the bill to say value of a post-secondary.
value of post.
You'll write it out, right? Studies, yeah, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the bill is before us as amended.
Second.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to report the bill as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Senator, thank you for the good idea.
Thank you so much, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, we have our last patron, the chairman, Senator Newman. I think we have two bills from you. Thank you for coming so early. Senator, you have two bills, Senate Bill 1098 and 1099. Do you care which order you present them?
Can I do 1098 first?
Yes, sir. The subcommittee would give their attention to 1098. Senator Newman.
Mr. Chairman, this bill comes out of a number of school divisions that have contacted me, just wanting to understand exactly what the process is for the accreditation. And many school divisions saying that they were close, but it goes into a bit of a magic box, and they don't know exactly how they come out, either on the positive side or on the negative side. So this bill would indicate that we would ask for that process to be transparent, so that we understand what the objectives are, what you have to meet, and also that the accreditation's appeal would be heard and decided over my board.
All right. Are there any questions of the senator on the legislation? You know, I had a question on if there was any clarity on the concept of an objective measure. I know what that means, but I don't know if it's consistent with what everybody else might think it means. Did you have a thought one way or the other on that?
Well, clearly, we would think that the standards of accreditation would be based on 70% of the students receiving at least 70% on the SOLs, right? That's what we would think generally that accreditation. It's not exactly what it is. As you know, there's a lot of other items that go into that. And so I did not want to tie the department's hands too much, but I would like for them to tell us what the accreditation standards are, and so everyone knows what they need to do to hit it. And I'll give you an example. Roanoke County fell one time on the good side when their scores were about the same, and on the other side once when their scores were about the same, and they don't know what goes into the sauce, and so they were looking to see what that standard was.
Okay. Delegate Bullock.
Question, I guess, on the striking the but not limited to. And so now we're saying that it used to be that you had these certain things that you would promulgate regulations around. And you, I guess the board would have discretion to add other things in there. Now we're saying that these are the only ones. I guess maybe this is a question for Cindy, or if you can answer it. What, is there anything in here that we are now, that you did that's not listed here that we're cutting out?
No, we would fully support the
Cindy,
senators.
Can you say?
Oh, yes,
Just
sir.
a second. That's right.
Cindy Kay, from the Department of Education. We would fully support the senator's objective with having everything being fully understandable.
Okay. Any other questions of the subcommittee? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in favor of the bill? Tom?
Smith, Superintendent's Association.
Okay. Anybody else? Anyone like to speak in opposition to the bill? All right, back to subcommittee. What's your pleasure on the bill?
Second.
All right, there is a motion and a second to report Senate Bill 1098. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The bill reports. Senator, thank you. All right, the next bill is Senate Bill 1099.
Mr. Chairman, we've had some discussions about this and on the other side, and we have actually taken a number of the bills that look like this and asked the future of public education delegate land use group to look at them. I think that this bill we could pass, but I'm inclined, if it's acceptable for your group, maybe we'll lay this
So I think that, yeah, the appropriate motion would be to, we could do nothing on the bill and it would just stay in the bosom.
I don't mind if you PPI, it's perfectly fine.
We could gently lay it on the table would be my preference.
Gently laid on the table. Section.
All those in favor of laying that bill gently on the table, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Senator, thank you. That was the quickest subcommittee meeting.
That's right.
All right, see you later. I believe that completes our work. There are no more bills in this subcommittee. I would like to thank the members of the subcommittee for all their work. It's been a good. Delegate Dudenheffer, we wish you well. Thank you very much for your work and your service to